Communication is a fundamental part of storytelling, or a lack of it for some, but that's a point for a different intro entirely. This is why all characters typically speak the same language, even if the story considers them to be a foreigner, so a plot can actually get underway. But generally speaking, if they don't speak the same language, you've got a completely different story to tell, one I didn't expect to be told in a visual novel format of all things. Developed by Nekode, Christmas Tina, The Ephemeral Views of Winter, tells the story of two youths who come to the densely populated Tokyo in 1988, the last year of the Showa era, from very different backgrounds. Jing, a Chinese boy, has come because he failed his university entrance exams and wants to save up money to try again, and Kana, a Japanese countryside girl with a leg injury who needs to make money to send home to pay for her younger sister's heart surgery. They both end up acquiring a job as part of some sort of real estate prospecting. They are paid a very small wage to stay at an old, run-down train station. It'd be a cinch to get supplies to live there with lots of people, but there is a catch. Jing doesn't know any Japanese, and Kana doesn't know any Chinese. In this tale, you'll switch between the viewpoints of both characters as they work at their respective goals, and have many communication breakdowns. Now, I know some people might look at communication breakdowns and think that's a little bit cringy and say they should just sit down and overcome these problems. The careful construction of these characters alongside the literal language barrier is exceptional and will practically prevent that from messing with any logical sense of reasoning one might have, especially due to the large amounts of dubbing done in both Chinese and Japanese. The setting of a 1988 Harajuku is also a helpful historical context period. It's just back far enough to limit various resources to the characters, but relatable to a young audience in the current time. Before you even get that far, the first thing that will catch anyone's eye is the game's presentation. This isn't a standard tile that displays character portraits in front of backgrounds. Instead, the prologue stories that introduce the leads follow a series of events that led to their respective journeys to Tokyo, using specially created and stylistic sepia graphics. They're low in overall detail, but put all of it where it counts for a strong and emotional opening. And the rest of the game goes far beyond that. By utilizing layers, crops, transparency, pans, and minimal animation, Christmas Tina displays its scenes with the level of dynamicness usually reserved to fully animated titles. It makes the experience incredibly immersive. And this isn't to compensate for lower quality or heavily stylized art by any means, because there is a lot of art. The backgrounds are wonderful and highly detailed so they can be zoomed into on any point. The same goes for the characters, who also have tons of poses and expressions in addition to the high quality art. The soundtrack of the game is also very good, using an array of pieces to make sure the player doesn't just start predicting things based on the music. The narrative is broken up into roughly 30 chapters, each relatively short for a total runtime of about 10 hours. The game autosaves after each chapter, adding them to the select as you go. There are a few options outside the basic volume sliders, but there aren't many you'd really need or want for a title like this. Christmas Tina isn't exactly a waifu game of any kind, although there is an optional beach episode if you're interested in swimsuits like Gazario is, wink wink. Overall, it features next to nothing in the way of romance. You can see this cemented by the actions of the leads, with the supporting cast that helps serve to throw the stones that ripple the title's plot. And they make for compelling characters in their own right. There is of course a bit of shit fuel between the leads if you like that though. I mean, I'll take it. It's cute. Christmas Tina, The Ephemeral Views of Winter, is a fantastic adventure that makes the most of the visual novel medium to tell a compelling narrative about some fascinating characters. It's an introspective story where our duo will need to confront themselves if they want a chance at confronting each other. It made me cry, it made me laugh, it made me want to listen to Michael Jackson songs for some reason. If there's any visual novel I absolutely want to reread from this year when I get the chance, this is on top of the list. Noisy Pixel is giving Christmas Tina, The Ephemeral Views of Winter, a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixel is a group dedicated to bring you guys the best news, reviews, previews, and more. Please stick around by hitting the bell to stay up to date on all of their future content.
Noisy Pixel.